What's up, coaches? It's Coach Karina. I'm here again with another multi-segmental flexion exercise for you for this week. What we're going to work on this time is not a lot of flexion of the spine or hips in and of itself. However, what we're training here is control of the nervous system and the rest of the body, where we're going to have good stability on one side and movement on the other side. You may have heard me say that before. Try to stabilize one thing while you're moving something else. So what we're going to do is use this kneeling position, which we like because we've been on the floor and on our hands and knees a lot working with this so far. And we're working on, and as we bring ourselves vertical, we have a whole new layer of complexity as far as the postural control is required. So what happens is that now that we're stacked, it's more functional. We're closer to our standing training that we're working toward with this. But because we're closer to the ground, it's not quite as unstable as if we just jumped all the way up onto our feet. So this kneeling position is a good way to start practicing loading and stabilizing in the hips. Also because you're standing on your knees, that sort of quad dominant pattern that a lot of us have is really not as helpful, so it sort of forces retraining in the glutes and core. So you're going to use a dowel. It's going to get pushed up overhead. Jump rope works here well also. In fact, maybe even a little bit better because you can keep pulling out with the arms to keep that jump rope taut, which engages the postural support up in the upper back and shoulders. So all you're going to do from here, kneeling on one side, you're going to slide the other foot forward and bring it straight back. I said slide, and I don't really mean slide. It would be even better if you could just place the foot with control out in front and put it right back in. So tall kneeling is this position where we're standing on both knees, and then there's a step out. And I want you to challenge your athletes to even go a little bit more slowly. So like if I'm standing on this right knee and I can really control, which I'm still working on, the movement of that left foot and place it down gently, then that implies a great amount of stability in that standing hip. So you could even try to balance on that knee without putting that foot down. And then place it down gently. So by being on this knee, again, if I were standing and working on balance, my ankle would wiggle a lot and help me. My knee, I could make adjustments there, but here I can't do that. So this is, I'm requiring all the stability to come from my hip. And what we've said a lot is that stability in the proximal area, the hips, the closer to the trunk, allows proper mechanics in the leg. So by balancing on one knee, you can put a dowel on the ground to kind of help you out. Balance on one knee and really engage the hip and the trunk in order to provide yourself some stability. So tall kneeling step outs. If that balance is going really well, if somebody is very smooth in that movement and they need a little bit more, we add a layer of complexity by rotating toward that front leg. You're always going toward the front leg. Rotate toward the front leg. Back and forth like that. This exercise can also, if there's no dowel, no jump rope, if you're just out in the middle of the gym, you can also just do it with your fingertips behind your head, really pulling the shoulder blades back. We want the chest to be nice and open. So as we add that twist, for right now, as we add this twist, we want it to be very tall through the spine, so I'm sort of spinning about the axis of my spine and not any bending forward. Spin about the axis of the spine, rotate toward that front leg, nice and slow and controlled with the stepping forward and back. Give it a minute or so and just kind of practice with it. Repetition here is not what matters. What usually happens is that it feels very awkward and uncontrolled and difficult to balance at first, and then it gets much more stable as the nervous system figures out the proper control of all of this. So tall kneeling step outs with the dowel up overhead, maybe adding that trunk rotation toward that front leg. That's it for this week. Next time we're still on our hands and on our knees, probably working with some tubing and back to partners. So tall kneeling step outs, let me know what you think.